You don't want to fight Benavidez. Maybe he's too big. You don't want to fight Bud. Maybe he's too small. Come on, Goldilocks. Something got to be just right. And it can't just be these bums like Munguia and Berlanga and guys like that. Give me somebody with some cachet, bro. Give me somebody that's got something
behind them, like
some recognition to him. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Burner Account. We are going to talk some boxing today, and we're going to talk about a matchup that a lot of people want to see, but maybe one person doesn't want to see, and that person is Canelo Alvarez versus Bud Crawford. It seems to be the buzz in the boxing world. Everybody's kind of weighing in, giving their opinion on it. I wouldn't mind seeing it. Bud said he wouldn't mind seeing it. Canelo, on the other hand, may not want that matchup. We're going to get into it. So, boys, let's hop right on. Julio, what do you think, man? What do you think about that fight? Would it be a good fight? Is it worth the hype? And should Canelo be pricing himself at $150 million to engage in talks for that fight?
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, from a boxing fan standpoint, yeah, hell yeah, I want to see that fight. That's a fight that I really, really want to see. Not something like what we're about to get with Canelo versus Eduardo Berlanga. You know, that's a fight that nobody wants to see. If you tell me Bud and Canelo are going to go at it, hell yeah, I want to watch that fight. That's a fight that I definitely want to see. And you know, there's a lot of different reasons for that fight that is so popular. I mean, you look at Bud, his body of work, the people that he's fought against, the record that he holds. I mean, it's just one of those clashes that you want to see in the boxing world. Canelo, of course, he's already laid down the foundation of his legacy. He's already done all the body of work that he needs to do to basically establish his legacy. And Bud has also done the exact same body of work. He's a champ, well within his own right, arguably, if not to be considered the pound for pound boxing champ right now. I mean, out of all the boxers that we got. So for me, hell yeah, I want to see that fight. Why we're not getting it is, you know, there's a lot of talk about ducking, talk about, you know, money not being right, talk about, you know, not being worth it, not making enough draw for that fight, which to me seems a little bit ridiculous because go ahead.
I'm glad you're bringing that up because I want to get your thoughts and I want to get T's thoughts and Jay's thoughts on that. Mm-hmm. But right now, let's hear Terrence Bud Crawford's thoughts on why that fight may not happen or isn't happening.
It's crazy and it makes me laugh with all the antics that Canelo is doing and saying in the media and whatnot about the size and he won't get no credit and all this type of things. But
so right off top, we'll address these as he kind of goes through the reasoning. So he says, well, the size and not getting any credit. You got to remember, I think Bud's going up. It would be like 3 weight classes basically to try to get to where Canelo's at from where he was. So Canelo's logic is, well, the guy's a smaller man. So if I win, what have I really proven to the boxing world? How does that help my case for the greatest pound for pound? How does that give me any glory other than I beat up a smaller man? Nobody's going to care about that. And if I lose, everybody's going to say, well, I lost to a smaller man. I think that's more the issue is, hey, he's a smaller guy. I've got everything to lose and nothing to gain. T, what about you, man? What do you think about that first statement?
Was Floyd Mayweather not smaller than Canelo when he fought Floyd?
Yeah, Mayweather was a small guy, period. But yeah, he was a little bit smaller.
So, not a little bit, a lot of bit. I mean, at the end of the day, bro, to me, the day got to end. Y'all didn't catch that. Y'all looking like, what the hell is he talking about? Bro, I just think, I mean, honestly, bro, like I said, I think it was last week or the week before, it's just not like the old days. Like, it's not, the greats ain't fighting the greats.
Right.
When they need to fight them.
Right.
Like, you know, I understand what Canelo is saying. Like, let me take these low risk fights and get more of a reward because we all in it for the money. But what does that do to your legacy, though?
Right. And
what
that's
is that doing to your legacy?
Right. He's always preached about how he wants to leave a great legacy as a Mexican boxer. And I agree with that statement 100%. T, that question that you just presented, which is, what does that do to your legacy when you're fighting these lower ranked, not special tomato cans? But go ahead, man.
Hit it, Jay. Or are we going to
Canelo been fighting smaller guys his whole career. Canelo been making his own catch weight for years. You know, Canelo fought a smaller Mayweather. Canelo fought a smaller Amir, not Amir Khan, but Amir Khan.
Yeah, he did.
Amir
He did at
Khan.
155. Yeah,
Amir Khan. You know, he fought Jamel Charlo, and I'm pretty sure he didn't make as much money with all those guys except Mayweather, even Berlanga right now, that he will with me. But yet and still, it's crazy.
I think. Well, hold on real quick, bro. I think that a couple weeks ago, bro, you made a valid point when you said, "Is Bud an A-side fighter? Is he the star? Can he put asses in seats? You know, can he be the draw?"
Right.
And I mean, let's be honest, bro. When he put the pound on Spence, like, nobody expected it to go that way, and that catapulted him into a different light. Now, he always had buzz, like, okay, he's the next up, he's the real deal, this and that. And then when he put that beating on Spence, that's when it put him into a different realm.
Yep.
But you got to remember, Bob Arum let him loose because he's like, he's not a draw. He's not putting no butts in seats.
Yeah, bro. But again, he put the pounding on Earl. Pause. He beat up on Earl, bro, and then that put him into a different light. What Bob Arum did, I understand why he did that then, but now he's in a different stage in his career now.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, what's out there for him right now? Like, do we really want to see Bud versus a Charlo twin? No disrespect to the Charlos. The fight that we want to see is Bud versus Canelo at the end of the day, bro. And Bud has put work in to be able to fight Canelo. And he's even saying, I'll go up to that weight.
The fight they're presenting right now from Turkey Al Sheikh was Bud versus Virgil Ortiz. Now, Virgil Ortiz looked good in this fight. He didn't look extra great like normally he does. He wasn't dominant like he normally is. And a lot of people will say maybe it was a draw, which I could have seen a draw, especially with the two knockdowns. A lot of people could have said he lost. It really could have gone either way in that fight. But that's the fight that they're trying to do for Bud. My opinion, I love Virgil Ortiz. He's a GP boy. I support GP to the fullest. But I don't think that's where Virgil Ortiz needs to be right now. In my opinion, he's not in that conversation. Not to say he's not great, not to say he won't end up with a good career, but he's not Bud Crawford, bro. He's not Errol Spence. He's not
Nope.
those guys. Not yet. There's
there's-
levels.
The problem is that we putting too much stock in. It's just like when we talk about the Cowboys, bro. We putting too much stock in the best of tier two fighters
Yeah.
that ain't reached the pinnacle yet. Like
Right.
Bud is
Yeah.
at the pinnacle, bro. Just like Canelo.
there's
They're not getting no
levels.
younger.
Levels for sure. Jay, go ahead, brother. What'd you have?
I was just gonna say there's levels to this. Like you can't rush it. You can't rush. I don't want to see Virgil being rushed into that.
Right.
That's all.
What do you think so far about what we've heard Bud say, man, as far as Canelo, pricing himself out a little bit and fighting smaller guys and stuff like that?
I mean, he has a point. Like it's not back in our day, and I hate to sound old, yelling at the clouds and get off my lawn, but back in our day, like people fought to fight, and it ain't about that now. It's about money. It's about how much money can I make. How much money can I make off the sponsors during this fight? How much money can I make off the gate? How much can I make to set myself up to where I don't have to do this all the time? And
For the rest of my life, yeah.
Yeah, boxing isn't a sport anymore as much as it is a business.
yeah,
Boxing is a business?
Is it smart?
Which-
Yes. It's very smart.
Yeah,
Is
absolutely.
it entertaining? Not really. Because then you don't you get Canelo fighting some whoever, some person they pulled out of the crowd and was like, hey, yeah, y'all match. Let's get in there. Y'all yelling around the
This is a
same
Make-A-Wish
same
fight?
weight. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. You don't see mega fights anymore.
Bro,
That's a shame.
This is a mega fight.
this could be a legacy fight if it's promoted the right way between
Yeah,
Bud and
for sure.
And it's a legacy fight for both guys,
Yeah.
in my opinion. It's
Yep.
not a one-way street like Canelo would necessarily want you to believe. There's definitely credibility in being the guy that beats what everyone considers and who is ranked the pound for pound best boxer right now.
I mean,
How do you not get any gratification and notoriety from that?
we saw what he did to Earl.
Don't
I mean-
Canelo got more losses on his record than Bud does, right?
Well, yeah, Bud he's 40-0, and then you have Canelo that's 59-2-2, I believe.
There
So-
you go.
Honestly, I
With
mean,
the
who's the bigger draw?
Do what?
And that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I mean, whether we like it or not, Canelo is Canelo. He is as quote unquote, as some of my friends like to say, the straw that stirs the boxing drink. That's what he is. So whether you like it or not, whether you think he's the best fighter or he's not the best fighter, whether you're a Canelo fan or you're not a Canelo fan, he is the name that draws people to watch the sport of boxing, no matter who he's fighting.
Right.
So that's kind of like when we were having that discussion earlier on a different podcast, where we were talking about his upcoming fight and that them competing with the UFC Sphere fight. Whether we like it or not, people are still going to tune into that fight. People are still going to buy the pay-per-view. People are still going to buy tickets to go to that fight because it's Canelo. At the end of the day, it's Canelo.
I mean,
So-
I understand that. What I'm saying is in all fights, you got an A side and you got a B side. It's just like when De La Hoya fought Mayweather, bro. De La Hoya was the A side. Mayweather was the B side, and when he took that L, we saw what became of Mayweather after that. I mean, I really just I for whatever type of reasons y'all want to throw out there, anybody, I don't understand why Canelo won't fight Bud, bro.
Right. And if you look at this fight, I mean, this might be a hot take, whatever, but I do feel like this is as close to redemption for the Mayweather loss as you're going to get, right here is taking this
Yeah.
fight. He's
Mhm.
not fought a fighter as skilled as Terrence Crawford since Mayweather. So if you want to kind of neutralize that loss to Floyd, this is how you do it right here. You take a fight like this and you win. You hopefully you dominate, but a win is a win is a win, as we always discuss on this podcast.
Mhm.
But you win this fight and you kind of reverse the thought process of the best fighter you ever fought and you lost.
That's a fact.
Fight though, but
Huh?
that's my take.
What'd you say?
I don't think he would win, but that's my take.
No, I'm not saying he would, but I'm saying if he does win, that kind of erases the stain of the Mayweather loss. I'm not saying it does completely, but it's like, okay, like you lost to the greatest to what a lot of people say is the greatest to ever do it. You lost to that guy, but then you redeemed yourself beating the pound for pound best boxer. So that's not just some throwaway title right there. Go ahead, Jay. Let's pick back up with Bud.
You know, he have all these excuses why he don't want to take a fight with me. If it's all about business, then you doing good business. If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, well, you know, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want $200 million for Benavidez, and he want $150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to his legacy, because it would be crazy for a guy that started at 135 to come all the way up to 168, your weight, no catch weight, no none of that, and dethrone you. So, you know, he got that in the back of his head. You know, this guy, for one, he's tough. For two, he's a boxer. He moves, he can punch, he can do it all. I can't slip up and lose to this little guy. Then what will my fans think of me? What will my Mexican people think of me? So, you know, it's a big risk for him. Like he said, he don't get nothing out of it, but he does get a lot of it out of it. You know, none of those guys was pound for pound best fighter in the world that he fought when it was coming up in weight. None of those guys. You know, he wasn't getting the amount of money threw at him guaranteed for those guys that he's getting with me. So it just goes to show, you know, the level of respect. I look at it as respect that he give me. I don't look at it as disrespect. I look at it at the level of respect that, you know, he think of me as a fighter.
With those finishing comments, you know, Bud kind of just, you know, I hadn't seen this video, but we kind of touched everything he touched on.
Yep.
Like, you know, what is he's got everything to lose, nothing to really gain. Bud does come back and say, hey, I'm the pound for pound. So I'm not just some throwaway fight. I'm not just some notch on your record. It's gonna mean something. And I do think that it also does show, like Bud said, Canelo's respect for him. But Canelo's a respectful fighter unless you're dismissive, unless you start, you know, running your mouth. And then this new Canelo that we're seeing, bro, like he's just really out here. He learned some English and now he's just wild with it. But for the most part, I've like when he fought, who was the guy he fought last? What was his name? Munguia. When he fought Munguia, super respectful, didn't talk about him, but Munguia was respectful as well, right? And then it came around where it was like, well, maybe he carried Munguia because he didn't really go hard on him like he could have. I think Bud's got a point. I would love to see this fight, and I do think ultimately it doesn't matter who wins between the two fighters. The ones that ultimately win are the boxing fans. Why are the boxing fans of this fight? You don't want to fight Benavidez, maybe he's too big. You don't want to fight Bud, maybe he's too small. Come on, Goldilocks. Something got to be just right. And it can't just be these bums like Munguia and Berlanga and guys like that. Give me somebody with some cachet, bro. Give me somebody that's got some
something behind them, like
some recognition to him, where it's like, oh, that's who he's fighting. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Not like who you mentioned the name of that. What? Who is that? Like,
I ain't never heard of him. We got to Google him to find out who the hell it is. Yeah,
we don't need those fights, especially with Canelo winding down. We need you to make some legacy fights to end your career and just say, "Hey, I fought the best, not I fought the rest."
Let's be real and honest. Cesar Chavez didn't run from nobody, did he?
Oh, he fought everybody.
He fought everybody, but back then, like Chavez fought tomato cans, bro. Like, let's be real.
He fought. Well, that's the thing, is that he fought everybody. When you look at that,
like every month, bro.
Yeah, and that's the difference. And I think that's something that T had brought up earlier. You know, that's the difference from what we were used to seeing growing up back then as to what we're seeing now. You know, the business has changed. The boxing world has changed. It's just turned more into a business. It's not so much, you know, if somebody calls me out, I'm real quick to jump on that and be like, who the hell are you? Why the hell are you talking shit? I'm the champ right here. Why are you talking shit? You know, that was the mindset back then. If anybody tried to speak out on you or try to speak out on your name, you were, as a boxer, it was pretty much almost like an obligation to take charge. Yeah. You were like, okay, you want smoke? I'm going to give you the smoke. Let's go.
Yeah.
And it was, and with Chavez, and that's why he's called the El Gran Campeón Mexicano, and Canelo will never have that title, is because no matter who called him out, whether they were a tomato can or whether they were a champ, whoever called him out, they wanted the smoke, he would give them the smoke. Right then and there, he'd be like, all right, come on, let's make the fight. Let's do it next month. And like Joe said, I mean, it was very rare to go a whole year without seeing Chavez fight at least 10 to 12 times. Hell, maybe sometimes more than that. So
bro, you won't see another guy go like 90-0 or anything like that. These dudes
hell
don't
no.
like that no more. They just don't. Like 40, 50 fights in a career, and you're doing
CTE.
Yeah,
CTE.
Absolutely.
Oh, he does. He does.
Well, T, I'll give you the closing thoughts, man. Closing statements. What do you think about this situation, and what do you think? I'll ask you this: if we do get this fight, what do you see for it, and who do you think ultimately? Who does this fight benefit more?
Well, as far as the situation overall, bro, I think that, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I just think that Canelo's ducking Bud. It's, to me, it's obvious, because instead of fighting somebody that has the cachet, like you said, you fighting tomato cans. I think both of them benefit from the fight if it were to happen. Because it's a legacy fight, bro. Like, this could be a fight like a Duran Hagler, you know, a Ray Leonard Hearns. So it's a legacy fight. At the end of the day, like, these are the two top fighters right now in boxing that people want to see. You know what I'm saying? Like, these fighters right here, nobody's saying that they're boring like they say about Shakur, however you say his name. I mean, outside of them two, the only other fighter that's the big draw is Tank, and he's way too little. So, I mean, what was the second part to the question?
Well, who benefits, and if the fight does happen, who do you think, you know, wins ultimately?
Like I said, I think they both benefit, bro. And then I'm gonna get an edge to Bud, bro. I like Canelo. I like his fighting style. You can see how his style changed when he fought Floyd, after he fought Floyd, and then after he fought Triple G. His style has changed 3 or 4 times in the last 5 to 10 years. Yeah. So, I'm gonna get an edge to Bud though. I'm gonna go with Bud because I just think that they both good. They both elusive, bro. I think Canelo's downfall is he looks for that big blow, that overhand, try to knock the daylight out of you. And Bud will know that and counter and get him. So I'm gonna get it.
Okay. So T, I lied, bro. I'm gonna go around the room, but we'll start with you. So T says Bud ultimately wins that fight. Julio, who do you think ultimately wins this fight if it does take place?
Whoa. Again, it would be a great fight for the boxing community. Honestly, just because Canelo is the bigger guy, more experienced, more wins under his belt. Not to take anything away from Bud. I love Bud Crawford. I love him to death. He's an excellent boxer, hell of a technician, just a hell of a boxer all the way around. He knows how to work the ring. He knows how to dissect you real quick. He knows how to figure stuff out, adapt really quickly in the ring. But I just think that Canelo's power would be a little bit too much for him. And I think Canelo wins that fight, in my opinion. That's just me, though.
Nice. Jay, I'll end with you, brother. Who do you think wins that fight if that fight does get made?
What's the time frame we're talking about that it would be made in
the next year?
I'd say Crawford. I mean, y'all say Crawford's smaller than Canelo. We've known that size really don't matter. Tank has showed us that. So I think Crawford would probably put a beating on him the way he put on Earl.
No,
I don't
think it'd be that. Yeah,
but
I don't think it'd be that bad.
I can't go that far. If that's where you go, I
mean, I can't go that far either, bro.
Yeah, I
can y'all just fucking go with the flow, bro? This is content, okay?
You flowing into the fucking river, bro.
Go with the flow, man.
You flowing into the ocean.
Damn.
That river went into the ocean. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Nah, I don't think it would be that bad, but I think he would. It would be a fight. It would be a fight. It would be a real fight. It would
be a hell of a fight. Yeah.
I think ultimately, Canelo would win that fight, and I think ultimately why is because he would just be too much man. I think the size advantage would work for him because he's just a naturally bigger guy anyway. And on top of that, he's going to rehydrate and get even bigger. Now, I think the one thing Bud would have that Canelo ain't ever had is endurance, stamina.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And if he can take Canelo into the late rounds, now you're looking at a guy who's tired versus a guy that's like, I can do this all night long. So it'll be an interesting fight. I'd love to see it. Will the boxing gods ever bless us with it? We'll find out. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we do want to thank you so much for joining us on this extended topic. We thought it was definitely something that should be addressed. We hope you enjoyed it, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.